Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about the speed of your sword when you are training, okay? And this includes both power work and also when you're training with your sparring partner, okay? I'm going to execute a series of cuts and I want you to try and follow the sword, follow the blade. So I'm going to start off with a right side middle how, okay? Okay, let's try right side Zorn how. Left side Zorn how. Winker how. Okay, Shadow how. Okay, so that Shadow how was nasty. Look at that. It was a diagonal cut. Came in, take a piece off of that wood, sliced it right there. But anyway, and this is a blunt blade. This is absolutely blunt. You can run it across. You can run your tongue on it. It's a blunt blade, and it's making nice cuts into the wood. Precisely because I'm using it at speed, and that is the key characteristic of the sword. It is not a mass weapon. It is a weapon of speed. You have to put speed behind this in order for this to do anything. Okay, it doesn't matter how sharp the blade is. If you're making slow cuts like that, not only is it not gonna do anything, okay, because this is not a laser, but you're not training yourself, and you're not training your partner, okay. And here's the reason why I say that. If I'm making slow cuts, right, and if you can see my blade, okay, if you can see my blade coming, that means that none of the feints are going to work, okay? These strikes have to be fast enough, okay, that you can't see the blade, okay? Okay? So you should not be able to see the blade when I strike. What that means is you're looking at my shoulder, you're looking at my body positioning to get some idea of where these strikes are going to go. And based on that, you're covering yourself accordingly, okay? You don't know exactly where the sword is, you just have a general idea of where it's going. And it's based on that is what, based on that is what you're blocking by, okay? If you're striking slow, okay, the person that you're training with, they're not going to develop the proper blocking skills. They're not going to learn to look at the right parts of your body. They're going to be looking at your sword blade rather at your shoulder or your elbow to figure out where the strike is going. So in order for you to train yourself and to train your partner properly, you have to be swinging at full power, full speed, okay? Now, obviously with a steel blade like this, even though it's not sharp, I mean, you can see what it's doing to this wood. You can break somebody's bones with this, okay? Even with some of the light plastic armor that I see people use, if you're striking at full speed with this, you'll still hurt people with it. So for that reason, when I fight in the SCA, we use rattan because it's round. It's about 1.25 inches round. It spreads the impact out. But what that does is it allows, because we're going at full power and full speed, we're developing the right type of reactions. Okay, we're learning to react to people's true speed. Okay, not the practice speed. And also our fakes work differently. Okay, if you're swinging slowly, I mean, it's almost impossible to fake somebody out. Because if I do a changing cut, the Wessel how, and I go here and then turn it over to that side, there's no way that I can do this slowly and that you're not gonna, realize what I'm doing. Okay, if I'm doing this slowly, you realize that I've changed it to the other side. However, if I'm doing it quickly, okay, you're not going to have enough time to react. So what that means is that as you're in your guard, you almost have to assume that everything's a fake and that you can be hit on almost any part of your body. Okay, so this is an important component to swordsmanship training. You have to build up the right reactions. And what also happens is that, it also becomes it also builds upon itself. As your partner develops the right type of reactions, then you can use other types of fakes. Because I know, once somebody learns that they can't look at your sword, that they have to look at other parts of your body, and they have to anticipate the blocks. They can't just they can't just block visually. They can't block after the fact. Okay, they can't reactively block. They have to block in advance. They have to anticipate where they need to block. Now you can you can learn to play with that, because now what I can do is that I don't actually need to move the sword at all. If I just move my shoulder like this, they're going to react to that because they're used to seeing me do that, every time I throw that fast shot, okay? So now, if I do that, all of a sudden I take the middle how, okay? So that's the type of reactions we want to develop in realistic swordsmanship. And you're only going to get that by training at full power, full speed. You cannot get that with slow training. Now, there's a place for slow training as well, but there has to be full power, full speed at some point. And there's many ways to simulate that. I mean, I do that with with armor, and rattan, wooden rattan swords. But there's other types of simulators that you might be able to come up with, maybe padded weapons. I mean, I don't know, I'll leave that up to you guys. But the point is that you need the sword moving at a real speed, so that, you need a sword heavy enough so that you're using the right body mechanics. I mean, in all my strikes, even though you may only see my arm moving, I'm giving it a little bit of hip to generate that whip, okay? I mean, even with a Winkelhauen, a Winkelhauen basically comes over and turns over, but because it's moving so fast, you can't see that. So what that means is you can't tell the difference between a straight cut and a cut that's going to come around and go around the corner of your shield, okay? So again, all these strikes become effective only when done at full power and full speed. So there are my thoughts on that. If you guys got any questions or comments, please post them. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a member, subscribe. Talk to you guys next time.